Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Angela. In today's video, I have 2 decor dupes that we can recreate on a budget. Let's get into it. First, I'm taking this poster board that I got from the Dollar Tree. You can get these 2 for $1, and I'm just rolling it up to form a slim cone shape. I'm sure you've seen these cone trees all over Pinterest, all over the stores. They're very popular right now. And then I'm just taking my glue gun and I'm going to glue the edge piece and then roll it over so that it stays nice and tight in the form that I want it. And now I'm just going to cut the bottom off. You don't need to worry about this being perfectly straight across the bottom. We won't be standing it up straight on its own, so it doesn't need to be perfect here. I know it's a little complicated to get these to be perfectly even across the bottom. Once we have that part complete, I'm taking this yarn that I got from the Dollar Tree and I'm just going to start wrapping it all the way around my cone. We're going to go all the way up and then I'm going to come all the way back down so that it has 2 layers of the yarn. This was the only part that I actually had to pay for from the Dollar Tree. I didn't have this color yarn in my stash, so I did end up having to go out and buy this so it would look more like my inspiration picture, and you'll see that here in a little bit. So this project in total ended up costing me $1 to make. You don't need to worry about getting the yarn perfectly even the first layer when you're going up. If there's a little bit of spaces where you can see the poster board, that's okay. When you come back down, it does cover it up nicely. And I love the little crisscross look that you get by not making it perfect. I think it just gives it some added character. And we're just going to hot glue that right underneath at the end so you can't see it. Next, I'm taking these sticker stars that I got from the Dollar Tree. I had these in my stash, and we are going to remove the glitter from these. I want that solid wood look. So I'm taking some very scalding hot water. You can see the steam here, and I'm just holding it under there for a few seconds. And then I'm going to take my nail and just scrape the glitter off. It's just glitter glue, so it comes off pretty easily. You could also use sandpaper to do this, but they're pretty delicate, so I didn't want to ruin it. And here you can see with no more glitter. I'm going to take my star and hot glue it to the top of my little tree that we just made. And then I'm taking some dowel rods that I've had from Walmart, and I'm taking one of the medium size. I have a variety pack. This is a medium size, and then I'm taking a wood puck that I just got from my backyard. I had tons of branches just laying around under my deck. I just took the chop saw and cut a piece off. So here you can see the adhesive that I'm using. I'm not even really sure what this is. It's something my husband got for a project he was working on, but it is like an ultimate super glue that has like a tacky spray adhesive and then a super glue. So you spray the adhesive on to one part that you want to glue, and then you put the super glue onto the opposite piece. You can see I'm doing that here. And then when you put them together, it is like an instant and amazing hold. I did try using I did try using hot glue for this, but it ended up falling apart within a couple of minutes, so it just didn't work out too well. This glue worked amazing. You could also just use regular super glue though. I'm sure that would work the same. And here are my little trees. I made a set of 3. I think they look great. You can see the inspiration from Joann's. off to the right there, and that one cost $40 for one tree. Crazy. This cost me $1 to make all three. For my next DIY, I am making some present light up boxes, and this was a very complicated project. So this one's a little more difficult to make, but I took 12 6-inch scrap wood pieces, 12 9-inch scrap wood pieces, and 12 12-inch scrap wood pieces because I'm making 3 different presents. And I'm going to glue these together with some wood glue and then use the brad gun to give a more secure hold. And I'm going to make 2 squares, as you can see here, for each size. And then I'm going to take the extra 2 pieces that are left over to form that cube box shape. You'll see what I mean. I'm sure you can understand how to make a box, but it's a little more complicated to explain. But again, this was very difficult. I ended up having to get my husband to come and help me do some of the brad nails because I used really thin scrap wood. This was just something that he had left over from, he makes wooden flags. So he had this left over in the garage and I didn't want to buy something else. So then I'm just spray painting them black because again, I'm going for the black and white theme this year. You could absolutely use a cardboard box and just cut out the center all the way around the box. That would be super easy and probably less time consuming than it was to put these together. So now I'm just taking some of these string lights that I have from the Dollar Tree and I am filling the inside of my box, and I'm just using some Gorilla duct tape to put them where I want. After I have all the lights in place, I'm going to take this Deco mesh that I got from Family Dollar, and this and the ribbon were the only things I had to buy for this project. So in total, it ended up costing me about $8 to make this, where one of these boxes, if you find them in the stores, can cost upwards of $60 to $100. So I love the way this turned out. It really exceeded my expectations. I did not expect it to turn out as well as it did. But you can see here I'm taking the Deco mesh and I am gluing it down all the way around my box, and I have the lines right now going vertically. So I'm going to do that all the way around all of the sides, and then I'm going to flip the Deco mesh and I'm going to make it horizontal so it forms like a grid pattern on all sides of the present. Make sure you use something other than your finger to push this down because that glue will come right through the mesh and burn your little fingers. Here you can see my inspiration from Pinterest, and these boxes I think are beautiful, especially sitting out on the front porch for the holiday season, but I do not want to spend that kind of money on a little light up present. So here you can see I had all of my sides with the vertical, and now we are going, with the horizontal, and now we are going vertical with the Deco mesh. And I just cut off all the little scrap pieces that were hanging over so it had a nice clean edge. Last, I'm taking some ribbon, and this is the only other part that I had to buy because I didn't have enough black ribbon. That large 12-inch present took up a lot of ribbon. I did not realize how big it was going to be. But I'm just wrapping this around like you saw in the inspiration image, all the way around my present. And here I am making the bow part. My husband was fascinated with watching me do this. I told you guys in one of my last videos, I am not a good bow maker. I don't know what it is. I can create pretty much anything that I look at, and bows are just something that are so difficult for me to do. So I'm just taking a bunch of loops, gluing them down wherever I think they need to be glued down at, and making sure it just looks pretty on top. I didn't want to go with a traditional bow here. So yeah, I just went with some loops and then just glued it down where it needed to be glued down. And then took the tails, glued that little piece down, dovetailed the ends, and then that was it. I think these turned out so beautiful. This is by far my favorite DIY that I have ever created, and I'm absolutely on my channel because I only have about 5 videos up right now. So this is definitely my favorite project that I've created so far on my channel. But you'll have to let me know what you think in the comments. Would this be something that's too complicated for you to recreate, or would you try doing it maybe with a cardboard box to make it a little easier on yourself? Thank you so much for sticking around and watching me DIY today. I hope you enjoyed these 2 Decor dupes, and let me know in the comments if you're going to try either of these. See you next time!